welcome to the Horizon stage for our next panel, which is called Tiny Tech, Big Impact, How Compound Semiconductors are Powering a Greener Future. So compound semiconductors are one of Wales's biggest tech strengths, and they're creating big opportunities. So here to tell us about them today are Brandon Jones. Brandon's the skill manager for CS Connected, the world's first compound semiconductor cluster. And in this role, he leads on developing and delivering programs that connect education with industry. Joining him on the stage is Eloise Bond. Eloise is Senior Etch Process Engineer at KLA, and she supports the manufacturing of substrates and wafers. So please put your hands together and welcome Brandon and Eloise to the stage.
Thank you. So, as mentioned, my name is Brandon Jones, and I'm the skills manager for the CS Connected, the world's first compound semiconductor cluster. So, we represent a few companies based across South Wales, all the way from Monmouthshire, all the way through to Swansea. They're all based across the M4 corridor and focus on the manufacturing of compound semiconductors as a whole. CS Connected, we're the umbrella company that represents all of these, and my job is making sure that everyone has the right skills to get onto the correct pathways to join our industry. So, in our industry, we have a lot of issues, the main one being skills and gaps across, the entire global industry. Across Europe, we're looking at about 270,000 jobs needed by 2030, which obviously raises a lot of concerns. Through this, looking into our industry and our cluster in South Wales, we've got about 39% of our industry retiring in the next 15 years. Another cause for concern. Overall, our biggest risk is the lack of skilled workers across the board. So, compound semiconductors, where are they? What they're used in? They're the small chips that power everything in your electronics. So they're in your phones, your cars, your laptops, your TVs, your 5G, your satellites, anything you could think that take a lot of power to kind of work. Compound semiconductors as a whole, they're 10 times smaller than the human hair, so they're basically naked, invisible to your naked eye, so quite hard to see, which means we need some quite skilled workers to be able to work in our industry. So we're growing fast. We're looking at 6,000 jobs by 2030. At this point, since 2020, we've grown about 32% in terms of the workers in our industry, and we're looking to continue that growth as well. Now, we offer sticky jobs, we offer a very good salary, and we also try to make sure that there's constant opportunity for people to upskill, to retrain, and make sure you're staying ahead of the game as well. Clicker's great. So we built a ladder. This ladder makes sure that you can actually join our industry at any level possible. We've offered level 2 in WJC Semiconductors. Now this is to make sure that if you leave school and you're not quite sure what to do yet, you can go and get this qualification and then move on to college or potentially start applying to apprenticeships through our industry as well. The next step, we have level 3 and level 4 higher qualifications. Now those are HNCs, HNDs, degree apprenticeships as well that are offered through partners like University of South Wales, just on the M4 corridor as well. Higher than that, we've got our degree apprenticeships, we've got our MScs and our PhDs. Now all of these qualifications are offered across the region, so in the local colleges, in your local universities, and any training areas as well, so like Newport District training. So NDGTA, they also offer our level 3 apprenticeships as well. There's an opportunity for everyone to join this industry, depending on what level you want to join at. So those opportunities are across the board. If it's not the full qualification you're looking for and you just want to kind of dip your feet in and try and figure out if this is for you, we offer CPD courses that are completely online. They can be done in 2 to 3 hours in your own time, and that's through Cardiff University. We offer semiconductor boot camps. Now they're on Saturdays and summers. So you could do 10 Saturdays in a row or 2 weeks through the summer, and that gives you the level 2 qualification or the GCSE in semiconductors. Finally then, there's a little link to USW's degree apprenticeship route, and that is through Network 75. They only take on a certain amount of people, but with us we've developed the correct pathways in to make sure that our gaps are constantly filled. This is kind of the number that everyone gets excited about. So the average salary in our industry is roughly £68,000 a year, about 125% higher than anywhere else in Wales. Every time I pitch this, people say, well, when I join the industry, I'm not going to be earning that type of money. You can see by the graph, even at an entry level at 18 years of age, you're looking at 32 to 34 grand at an entry starting role. About 25 to 30% higher than you'll find anywhere else in Wales again. When I say sticky jobs, we're not just offering the training, we're also offering a very good salary for you guys to actually join our industry. And the opportunities, like I said, at any age, we're paying a lot of money and it's open for you all. So just to recap, we have a gap. That's at level 3 and it's our skilled workers. Now that's your entry level jobs, your technicians, your operators, at apprenticeship and degree apprenticeship level. That is our biggest gap. However, at any level you'd like to join, we're welcome to invite you in, we're offering the jobs, and as long as you've got the correct qualifications, we will take you on. And finally, we have a strong industry. We're paying very well, we have the qualifications available to you. There's upskilling, reskilling, anything you might need whilst in the industry as well, we have on offer for you. The offer's there for people to look in and to try and join us when they'd like to. Thank you. Eloise?
Okay, so I'm Eloise, and I'm going to talk about my journey into, oh, this is time still, into my journey into being a graduate to a senior etch process engineer at KLA. So KLA is just over there, or down in Junction 27. So my journey is started in 2013. I did my A-levels. From there, I went to Swansea University. Did a master's in research with Sir Sam on scaling thin film organic solar cells. This gave me clean room experience and connections within the industry. So this meant that I got an interview for KLA. I went into this interview because it was my first big career interview, and I didn't think I'd get it. I just turned up, did the interview. I put a lot of work in. It makes it sound like I didn't do anything, but I put a lot of work in. Did that interview, got it, and then I'm still here now, 6 years later. So in 2023, I got the Semi-Europa 20 under 30 Industry Leader Award. This meant I got to do some cool things, like go to Semicon Europa and meet some industry experts and do a lot more networking. It was quite a big thing. So what do I do on a day-to-day basis? So my job is KLA make big machines that work into semiconductor chips and such. My job is to demo these machines so customers buy them, because the machines are very expensive. They're about £1 million each. So obviously you want to know it does what you want it to do before you put the money into it. So they send us wafers, and then we will hit their specifications, and then hopefully they spend lots of money on a tool. The other thing we do is field support. So once these tools go out, they need to be supported because they might not work exactly like the tools we have. They might have had issues in shipping, or they might have changed slightly what they want. The other thing is internal forums. So we do a lot of knowledge sharing, like teaching about each different module. We do live demos. So sometimes the customers will come to us. They're quite daunting because they're quite big customers sometimes. So they'll come to us and they'll be on site with us and they'll do activities. So that's direct communication with a customer. The other thing is supporting other engineers. So obviously everyone else in my department is doing the same thing, but they don't always know exactly what they need to do. So sometimes they'll come to us or we'll go to them. It's quite a collaborative environment. So outside of my regular jobs, I do a lot of STEM and outreach. So I like this kind of thing. We work with STEM ambassadors. We do host visits to the Newport site. So that's coming in, doing a site tour, going around the clean rooms. We do relationships with universities. So currently we're trying to talk to Swansea University and get some connections going there. We also do collaboration with TechniQuest. So KLA has a lab that we sponsor there. And then the last one is careers fairs. So this kind of thing, going and talking to like young people and seeing what you want to do. So this is something cool I did. So when I got my 20 under 30 award, this is from Semi-Europa. This meant I got to go to Semicon and do, it's basically like this, but there's 3 halls, and everything's just a bit bigger. But it's a really good experience. And then specifically the thing I like about my job is I'm allowed to do sort of extracurricular things. So the main thing I do is WISE, which is Women in STEM Empowered, which is a group that we run with employees. So it's not run by HR or anything. It's run by KLA employees. And we have 3 things. We do career development. So we recently ran a science conference internally to give people practice for like their vivas or just presenting in front of a large group. We do STEM. So this image is from the NYCA in Pilgwenny. We ran a day with one of their youth groups and then did lots of STEM activities. And then there's well-being. So we've worked on getting like period pads and stuff like that and hairbands into clean rooms because it makes it a better working environment for women. Do the thing. So, on to how we can get in. So there's the things that Brandon mentioned, the Network 75, apprenticeships, and other training. But specifically at KLA, we have a 1-year graduate scheme. So the 1-year graduate scheme is you come in, you move around the departments, and you get to do all the jobs. And at the end of it, you go into one single department, and then you have a job after. It's not a graduate scheme where you have to find a job. That job is yours. So, no, whatever. It's really good. You get to learn all across the business, which isn't something you normally get when you just interview for a job. And then you already have sort of a cohort of friends because everyone started at about the same time as you. So this is just a slide to stay up that you can see what I've done. You can see I went to Korea, me at Semicom again, and then just how I got here and a bit of advice. We'll open up the floor to questions now, I think. So if anyone has any questions for me or Brandon. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Want a mic?
Yeah,
Yep. We'll share this between us. They all turned up, and I was like, oh god.
This is based like school.
Yeah.
So just opposite you guys at KLA. Look at teachers' lessons.
Do you guys do anything for like placement years? For, like year industry?
KLA does, yeah. So if you email us, I'm not sure what the exact content is, but I think we do some work experience and stuff. I know it's full placement years, but we definitely have work experience guys coming in.
Yeah, so at the minute it is just KLA offering the kind of those experiences. You can either go straight through the KLA's website, or you can go through CS Connected's website. We have a little drop down. You can go across all the employment opportunities across each industry that we represent. Then.
Yeah. Thank you.
For KLA, I just finished my master's degree, and sorry. So I'm also a software engineer. I applied to KLA for 2 different roles, the internship and the junior dev role, and it's been weeks, no response.
I'm not involved in any of that, so I can't help you, sorry.
No problem.
So just to go back to the last question, anyway, there is a KLA stall, and I think there is. If there's a KLA stall here today, I believe. So if there's anyone on that stall who might be able to help, then go and have a conversation with them. Might help out.
I was just wondering, because obviously some of these guys came in a bit later. Is it worth just recapping what you were saying about this industry in terms of like the money that people can get and salaries and that kind of thing, and that might prompt some questions as well.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. So I know a few of the, I think, students based like school. So you guys have come in a little bit late. That's absolutely fine. Average salary in our industry is 68 grand a year, which is quite high compared to everywhere else in Wales, never mind the UK. Starting salary, realistically, when someone joins at about 18 years old, is between 30 to 34. So again, higher than anywhere else you'll find in Wales anyway. To get onto those pay, right? You don't have to get straight A's, you're not looking at A stars, things like that. We have a few qualification routes. Now we have GCSEs as well. Now that's a level 2 WJC qualification in compound semiconductors and semiconductors. Now, you could do that on weekends or in the summer, so you can do 10 weeks of Saturdays or 2 week in the summer, and those are all just to get that qualification. That qualification then helps you kind of join college or potentially apply for apprenticeships, but it helps you decide what route you'd like to go on. At any level you'd like to join the industry, if you're interested in it, we have different opportunities. So we have that level 2, which is GCSE. We have the level 3 and the level 4, which is your higher apprenticeships and kind of like more university level, but we also have degree apprenticeships, masters and PhDs. At any point you're interested in the industry, you can join us. But like I said previously, we pay a lot of money and it is something we're looking for. We've got a gap, and by 2030 we're looking at another 3,000 jobs, so 6,000 overall in our industry, which means when you guys leave and you're applying for jobs, we will be hiring across the cluster.
So any questions after that? I wonder if it's worth explaining, both of you, what is it that you like about this industry? Why do you enjoy working in it? And why would you recommend it as somewhere for people to think about as a career?
I think for me, it's ever evolving. We're constantly pushing boundaries. We've got new companies that are being set up annually in our area. There's a lot of new jobs coming. I mean, all of you are probably using AI now and ChatGPT and things. They're all off the back of our compound semiconductors. They're the backbone to any bit of tech that you might use. You've got phones in your pockets. The chips in those are made by our companies and they're spread across the world. There's also the opportunity to travel the world with these industries. I know KLA, I mean, Eloise can touch on that, but does a lot of training abroad in China and things like that. So not just in KLA, but across the industry, there's opportunities to travel the world as well.
So I specifically like my job because mine's quite hands-on and I get to break very expensive things without getting in trouble. So for my job, I get to handle wafers specifically. So it's not just sitting at a desk because I think I'd go insane. It's a lot of lab work. It's a lot of talking to other people. Like I said on my slide, I got to go to Korea. I'd never have gone to Korea on my own back, but it was really interesting. And it's just meeting a lot of things, and you get a lot of context for a lot of like what's in your phones or what's in your computers and stuff like that.
So any questions after that? And there's a question at the back. There we go.
Are you going to enter the game? Like, I think currently NVIDIA, use the semiconductor from Temasek from Taiwan. So in the future, are you sort of like, planning to enter the AI game competition in the future?
I think that might be above my level, but we're definitely doing AI within our company. It's definitely like a driving factor.
Yeah, I mean, I can only second what Louisa said. It's definitely an ever-evolving industry again, AI, and it's probably something we will start, I guess, supporting with or touching on. But yeah, it's at a high level to make those decisions as well.
Any more questions? Yep.
If you could give any advice to someone in their first year of uni right now to really put them at an advantage trying to get into the industry, what would your advice be?
So I think to get an advantage into our industry would be looking at the CPD courses at Cardiff University. The people applying for the jobs probably have the same degrees, if not something very similar to apply to the industry. If you look into the extra CPD courses, the boot camps, things like that, it gives you that little bit of an edge. It can only support your application more, and it gives you, again, the edge over anyone else applying for our jobs.
I would say in first year, it's more about learning who you are and like getting more comfortable in yourself, because the more comfortable you are in yourself, the better you come off in interviews and applications. And like I did a lot of extra stuff, so I did like scouts and guides, archery, that kind of stuff. Like if you're on a committee, it shows you can run something. You kind of know, it's practicing the soft skills as well. So like being able to talk to new people, being comfortable in a room, like having a presence yourself, and sort of being able to read a room is a really important skill.
Excellent. Good questions there. Any other questions from anyone at the front? There's no silly questions at all. No? Any questions from your teachers or things that you might think they might want to know? No? Okay. If anyone does have some questions and they don't feel like they want to say it in this forum, I'm sure these guys will hang around for a few minutes afterwards if you've got any questions for them. Fantastic talk there, really great insights, and I think it's really interesting to know what's happening here in Wales and leading the way with that technology and the opportunities that are out there for future workforces. So thank you both very much for that. The next session here on the Horizon stage is called Human First, the tech that's changing lives. So that will be here at 11:30. But in the meantime, please, can I ask you to put your hands together and say a big thank you to Brandon and Eloise.